Hi, I am recording this part of the lecture after I recorded the whole course. On your screen you see a project that we created in this course, a few different test files with 8 total tests. Now let me run it. As you see, 4 tests started at the same time. That's because we learned how to run tests in parallel. Currently, I'm running tests in Chrome, but we also learned how to run tests on other browsers too. A few seconds later, and all 8 tests passed, and we have nicely written, easy to read and easy to maintain code. This is the actual code that you will get at the end of this project, and you will learn all of this in this course. So if you like what you see, just stick to the end. Hi guys, welcome to Selenium WebDriver with Python for Beginners course. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Dmitry and I am test automation engineer with over 10 years of test automation experience using Selenium WebDriver and about the same total years in QA. I started my QA career as a manual QA and quickly became interested in automating tests. I learned Selenium and Java first, used a few different Java testing frameworks, then later I switched to Python and worked with the few Python test frameworks. Most of the jobs I had, full-time or part-time consulting projects, I was the only one or a lead test automation guy, so had to make all the decisions. What tools to use, how to run tests, how to set up framework, etc. And that's why I think now I have enough knowledge and experience to teach and help you become successful in test automation. I started doing test automation because I'm too lazy to execute the same tests manually again and again. And I created my first Selenium course because I was too lazy to explain the same things to my friends who wanted to learn Selenium. Since then, I published a few courses on Udemy and other platforms and have plans to create a few more courses. This course will consist of 7 parts. First part is introduction. We will prepare everything we need to start working in the second part. We will create our first basic test in the third part. In part 4, we will learn about testing framework. We will make our test framework more advanced in the 5th part. In part 6, we will learn about Selenium weights and how to deal with common exceptions. And the last part, 7, is about page object model, very important part of a good UI automation framework. This is the course for the complete beginners, so students will learn where to start in test automation, how to prepare environment. We will create simple first test for login functionality, the functionality that most of you will likely have to automate in future at your work. We will review and learn different locator strategies. Students will learn benefits of using PyTest framework. We will reproduce most common exceptions, learn how to deal with them and avoid them in the future. And we will get familiar and learn how to use page object model. In this course, we will use Python programming language, PyTest framework, and I will use PyCharm IDE to write our code. If you are familiar with these tools, great. If not, don't worry about it. This is beginner's course, so I will try to explain everything in details so everyone will be able to follow, even if you don't have previous programming experience. Let's talk about what students should know already to successfully finish this course. When we say test automation, I think the word test is more important than the word automation. We are automating tests, so in order to be successful, we need to know what we are automating. That's why I think prior software testing experience is required for students. Students need to know how to test software manually, create manual test cases in order to better automate them. Since we will be using Python programming language, it's great if you have some experience with it, or any other programming language is good too. But do not worry if you don't. I specifically created this course for beginners, that's why I tried to explain everything in details. So even if you never used any programming language before, you still should be able to understand everything and learn basics of Python while we learn Selenium. Of course, it will help if you take some basic Python course, but again, not required to start this course. At the end of this course, you should have enough knowledge to land your first test automation job, start automating tests in your current company, or just automate some repetitive web tasks that you don't like to do manually. For example, a few years ago, I automated job search on dice.com. So instead of opening Dice and searching for jobs every morning manually, I created a small test automation project that does it instead of me, and I just reviewed the results at the end. And I still have an use automation project on Expedia website to search for cheap flights when I need to go somewhere. I created it when I got tired to search for flights on different dates. I spent a day and now I just change the date range and airports and push run button. And a few hours later I have a list of different flights with airports, dates, layover times and price. So yeah, you can use Selenium not just to do your job, but to automate other boring tasks on the web too.